The rear foot elevated hip flexor stretch is probably my favorite hip flexor stretch, but also the one I would try last after you've kind of eased your hip flexors into the regular half kneeling hip flexor stretch or the front foot elevated hip flexor stretch. The rear foot elevated hip flexor stretch is just a little bit more complicated to get it in and out of, and it's definitely the one I feel the most. So you might just want to ease your hip flexors into their new stretching routine. For this one, you will need something to elevate your rear foot on. I've got my stool at home, but at the gym, boxes work great, or even a bench, a regular bench would work. And I would highly recommend you use a pad for your knee, because this one puts a lot of pressure on your down knee. So to get into this one, you're gonna elevate your rear foot, drop that knee down. So same rules apply to this hip flexor stretch as your half nail and your front foot elevated hip flexor stretch. So your front leg is at a full 90-degree angle again. This knee's right on top of your ankle. And then back leg, knee is right under the hips. And that back toe is still curled under there. Still straight up and down with the spine. And in this position, you're going to still pull that belt buckle up. And this is where you will really feel the stretch in the hip flexor and down the front of the quad, just because by bending this knee, we're just already lengthening these muscles so much. And then you add that pelvic tilt, and it definitely gets the job done. So here, belt buckle pulled up, squeezing glutes forward gently. You're going to raise the down knee arm, and again hold for about 30 to 60 seconds. And I will go ahead and switch sides just so you can see the other version. If you're uncomfortable getting in and out of this from a standing position, you can kind of not so gracefully switch it out like this if you feel more comfortable doing it that way than descending from a stand. Again, each knee's at 90 degrees, pulling that belt buckle up, squeezing your glutes forward. You're gonna definitely feel this one in the front of your hip flexor, down the front of the quad. Raise that down knee arm. And again, focusing on deep belly breaths as you try to relax into this stretch. So this is going to be your rear foot elevated hip flexor stretch.